MS Rigel was a Norwegian vessel built in Copenhagen, Denmark, in 1924. The ship was used as a German prisoner of war transport during World War II, and was sunk by British Fleet Air Arm aircraft off Norway on 27 November 1944 with heavy loss of life. Ship history. Rigel was originally a motorship owned by the Bergen Steamship Company. The vessel was named after the brightest star in the Orion constellation. The ships had been requisitioned by the German occupation authorities in Norway in 1940 to transport Allied POWs. According to Norwegian sources, Rigel, under the command of Captain Heinrich Rode with a German crew, sailed under the German flag from Bjørkvik on 21 November 1944 carrying 951 POWs and 114 guards. At Narvik a further 349 POWs were loaded, plus 95 German deserters and 8 Norwegian prisoners arrested by the German police. The ship then proceeded in convoy with some smaller vessels to Tommerenset, where 948 more POWs were loaded into the cargo holds. Rigel called next at the port of Bodo. When the ship left Bodo on 26 November, Captain Rode reported 2,838 persons on board. There were 2,248 Soviet, Polish and Serbian prisoners of war with the 95 German deserters and 8 Norwegian prisoners. In addition, there were 455 German soldiers and the normal ship's crew of 29 plus 3 coastal pilots. One of the pilots and one woman crew member were Norwegians. Sinking the convoy, escorted by 2 small V-boats of the Kriegsmarine, was discovered by a patrol from the aircraft carrier HMS Implacable on the morning of 27 November, which mistakenly identified Rigel as a troopship. With many people on deck, the vessel probably looked like a troopship to the attackers. The convoy was attacked by Supermarine Sea firefighters and Fairey Firefly dive bombers from Implacable, which was taking part in Operation Provident. The attack took place between the islands of Rossøya and Tjota south of the port of Sandnes-Jøen in Nordland County. After the attack, the German captain grounded the badly damaged Rigel on the island of Rossøya, which probably saved the lives of the 267 survivors. The number of casualties is 2,571, including 7 Norwegians. Also heavily damaged and grounded was the collier Korsnäs, built in 1936 for the Bergen Company K.R. Jebsen. There were 6 casualties on this ship, which was salvaged in 1946 and continued in use until 1965. Memorial: the wreck remained half-sunk until 1969, when it was demolished and the remains of the dead buried in the Tjota International War Cemetery on the island of Tjota. The cemetery was consecrated in 1970, in memory of those killed on the Rigel. All the graves are anonymous, but a memorial stone in the form of a cross has been erected on the site. Also in 1970, a song based on the story of the Rigel was released by the American psychedelic folk group Pearls Before Swine on their album The Use of Ashes. The Norwegian broadcaster NRK produced his short news video in 2004 to mark the 60th anniversary of the disaster, with an interview with one of the survivors, 83-year-old Asbjørn Schultz. 3 weeks later, having told his story, Schultz died. The video contains some underwater footage of the wreck. In a radio broadcast in 1966, Schultz said that the convoy had come under attack at about 11:00 by about 40 aircraft. Many prisoners escaped from the ship only to drown while trying to reach land, he said.